Hi guys, I'm Lauren. Welcome to my channel. It's so good to see you guys. I have family coming in a couple weeks for the holidays, and they may or may not be bringing their kitties, and I have to go through and figure out what's toxic and what's not toxic, and I know most of my stuff is, but I'm going to be double checking it. So over the next couple of days, I'm going to be double checking and then putting it all up and making this more of a kitty friendly space, just in case, you know. So that's kind of what's going on today. I'm just going to identify with you what's okay for kitties and what's not okay for kitties. So if you have a kitty or you're thinking about a kitty, also what's toxic for kitties is usually toxic for dogs as well, and I will specify if it's toxic to children or not, and hopefully it helps you a little bit. And maybe if you have some family coming over for the holidays, maybe this is something that you need to consider as well. Alright, so with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so first up, Philodendron. They are toxic for humans and pets alike. They have little crystals inside them that will slice us up, and it's not really good. So, a lot of irritation and swelling and just bad juju. So, they're considered toxic. All Maranta are considered non-toxic, whether they're variegated or not, so that's kind of nice. It's one plant that's safe for all kitties and humans and fairly easy grower. Yet another reason why I have so many of them. Next up, we have Syngonium. Syngonium are actually a pretty toxic plant. They have the same issue as the Philodendron with those crystals in there. So just don't let your humans or kitties chew on them. Hoya are actually considered non-toxic, but they actually have a milky sap inside them. So if someone has a latex allergy, the milky sap inside can actually cause an allergic reaction. So usually like a topical. So something to be aware of with that as well. Tratascantia are considered toxic because of their sap as well. So don't let your kitties or your peoples chew on them. Serrapegia are actually considered non-toxic, and in some cultures their bulbs are even eaten, so that's something to, you know, keep an eye on. All Peperomia are considered non-toxic, and some supposedly have medicinal properties in their native country of Brazil. So it's always fun to look this stuff up. Spider plants are all considered non-toxic to humans and pets. All our fur babies will be completely safe with the spider plants, but they are related to the catnip family, so your kitties are really going to love them, if you get my meaning. So if your kitty's chewing on your spider plant, they really can't help it at this point. It just makes them very happy. This is actually a strawberry begonia, but it's not a real begonia. This is considered non-toxic to kitties and people, unlike actual begonias, so that is a huge distinction to make. African violets are non-toxic and safe for everybody, humans and fur babies alike, so you guys can go ahead with that. Same with the Phalaenopsis orchids. They are safe for everybody as well, considered non-toxic. I believe most orchids, if not all orchids, are considered non-toxic. The Aralias are considered mildly toxic, so don't chew on them. And same with the goldfish plants. I don't remember the scientific name. I'll try to put it on the screen for you. But they are considered toxic as well due to the sap inside them. Calathea, alocasia, and anthurium are all toxic. They're all on the toxic list, so don't let your fur babies or your people babies chew on them, because it's not good. So they've got the same issue as Philodendron. They just have those crystals inside that can tear things up. So just something to be aware of. Not saying throw them out, just be aware of it. Photonia are completely safe for all pets and people, so no worries there. Same with Paelia, they are considered a non-toxic plant as well, so you don't have to worry with them. They are pains to grow, but they are considered non-toxic. I have a grudge. The Ludicea discolor orchids, they are considered non-toxic as well. They're different from aroid orchids, or epiphytic orchids, so I wanted to include them separately, but the jewel orchids are all considered non-toxic. Monstera and raphaephora are considered toxic for pets and people, so don't go chewing on them, and even the fruit that they produce is supposedly slightly toxic, so I wouldn't recommend eating that either unless you are fully willing to take the risks. They have that same crystal problem. Skindapsis, just like Philodendron, are considered a toxic plant, so not safe for kitties or people. Calathea and Stromanthe are considered non-toxic though, so they are safe for all kitties and for people, dogs as well. I don't think there's any animals that are allergic to the Calathea at all. All lilies are considered toxic to furry pets and to people, so it's not recommended to eat them at all, but these are especially toxic to cats. They can actually kill them, so definitely keep them away from your kitties. The Peperomia, or commonly called Pothos, are toxic as well, just like a Philodendron and a Skindapsis. Depends for the succulents which ones are toxic and not, so definitely research them. These two in particular, the ice plant and baby sunrose and the echeveria, are considered non-toxic. Lithops are considered non-toxic as well, but there are toxic succulents out there, so make sure you research that. Okay, so begonia are considered non-toxic to humans, so they're completely safe for people. But for kitties in particular, they can chew on the foliage, they can chew on the stems, they cannot chew on the roots. I don't know about dogs, I just know about the cats for this one particular one. So definitely something to be aware of if your kitty is prone to dumping out your plants and chewing on the roots. You should be aware of that. I know there's some cats that like to go and dig in the plants and whatnot, so that's something to think about as well. Make sure that they're not actually chewing on the roots and the rhizomes below. So these lucky bamboo are actually a Dracaena. They are not bamboo. Bamboo itself is not toxic, but Dracaena, like snake plants and actual other Dracaena, are all considered very toxic. So definitely don't be chewing on them. Ferns, it is a hit or miss. Majority of actual true ferns are non-toxic. So like the staghorn fern, the Boston fern, the rabbit's foot fern, the blue star fern, these are all non-toxic ferns. So the very common ferns are pretty non-toxic. But there are plants out there that are called ferns commonly that are actually toxic. So like the asparagus fern, the foxtail fern, I believe the Japanese painted fern. I don't know if that one is a fern or not. I haven't researched that, but I did research that it is toxic. So those are things to keep in mind. Make sure when you're actually looking up these ferns and you're researching them, that it is a true fern and that it is non-toxic. So I know a lot of people will sit here and say all ferns are non-toxic. Majority of them are non-toxic. Do your research and double check with them though, because you really just never know. You never know, so you always want to verify. A lot of people assume, and then that's how accidents happen. So definitely something to keep in mind. So for all the ficus, there's a whole bunch of different kinds. There's creeping varieties, there are the tree varieties, there's the fiddle leaf fig, there is the burgundy rubber tree plant. They go by a whole bunch of different names, but ficus in general all have a sap in them that causes contact dermatitis in people and in animals. So it is considered a toxic plant. I don't know that it would necessarily kill you, but it definitely would not be a pleasant thing to be chewing on. So something to be aware of and consider with that. All Alright, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this helped you. Hopefully this will help keep your kitties and your kids and all of your pets in general safe. And thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!